Good morning, everybody. We're going to conclude the week of reviews with our look at one of my favorite Elvis Presley live albums, Elvis in Concert, which was released on October 3rd of 1977, so a couple months after Elvis died. It was recorded over two shows, June 19th and 21st of 1977, one of which was in Rapid City, South Dakota. I believe the second show. And actually, Elvis comments during the show after the opening number that he had heard that the venue in Rapid City was a new venue, and he was the first artist to perform there. But like I said, it was recorded over two shows, June 19th and 21st. Now, I love this record despite its flaws, and mainly the flaws are in the production of the record, because I think the record was put together hastily to have have product out there, and like some of the mixes are muffled, especially with the on the first show, because I think the first show was taken directly from the TV special, because there was a TV special, I believe, of the first show that was released like months after Elvis passed away, and so I think they were using the TV mix, and they didn't doctor it. They didn't do any sweetening, or very little sweetening, in the studio. Especially the drums are muffled. It almost has a bootleg quality to it. But I think what they were trying to do was make Elvis's voice prominent, and the band, is far back in the mix. In other words, they're not synced very well. But only on the first show. The second show is a lot better sound quality wise, and but despite all that, I love this record. Elvis is in top form comedically as well. He as most of us know, that Elvis was quite a funny guy on stage, and so he's in very top form comedically, and his voice is a little rough in spots, and you can tell he's really struggling to really struggling at times, especially on the first show, because he forgets lyrics and stuff. Although there, I don't think it's put on. Because around this time, Elvis was really struggling health-wise, and sometimes when I listen to this record, I feel extremely sorry for him, because I don't think he should have been on the road. At this time, I think he was a little. I think he was very unhealthy. Well, I know he was very unhealthy at this time, but I think he pushed himself way too far, and I think a lot of the fault lies with his doctor, um, Dr. Nicopolis, because I think he kept him so drugged up, and Colonel Tom was worried. All Colonel Tom was concerned about was getting Elvis. I mean, he a lot of Colonel Tom's concerns lie in money. I think by this time he was concerned about you know how much money Elvis can bring in, and he wasn't that concerned with Elvis's well-being as a human being, which really which really which really makes me mad, because a lot, all he was concerned about was Elvis's brand and not the man, so to speak. And I'm not saying that all of Elvis's, um, team was like that, just like the manager and stuff, because his his team that lived with him in Graceland really loved him and cared for him, and I don't think Colonel Tom loved him at all. He was in it for he was all he loved was what he could get out of Elvis. And come to find out, Colonel Tom wasn't always what he purported to be. But on to the record itself again. I have several favorites on this record. There's a lot of rarities on this record, and one of my all-time favorites, Elvis does a little short version of "I Really Don't Want to Know," which has always been one of my favorites. And he also does Jailhouse Rock, of course, but which at the time I got this record, I hadn't had a live version of, so I was really, really excited to have a live version of that. And then one of my all-time favorites is Elvis's cover of "If You Love Me, Let Me Know," the Olivia Newton-John number from the first show. Now, like I said, because it's from the first show, Elvis is way out front, and the band is like muffled in the background. I mean, you can hear him, but the mix isn't very good. And a lot of people, make fun of Elvis during this time as a performer. They call him Fat Sweaty Pig, or they refer to this period of Elvis's career as his fat period, and I think that was highly unfair, because despite his health challenges, he was still in top form as a performer. And I don't think I think he wanted to really put on a good show for his fans, because he was never about, he was always concerned about his fans and what they thought of him. And, but like I've said several times, this is my favorite period of Elvis's career. I like this 50s too, but I think the 70 in the 70s he really he really um, that is just my favorite period of Elvis because he had a kick butt band and everything, and but um, and I love the version of "I Got a Woman" on here because it's so good. I mean, and he's funny, during it, and in the middle of "I Got a Woman," he does one of my favorite, he goes into the Amen, and I think his voice is just tremendous during that section. I mean, oh, and one of my other favorites is "It's Now or Never," which I had never had a live version of. I had never seen him do that live or heard him do that live. And he tells the story of where the arrangement of "It's Now or Never" came from. About the "O Sole Mio," how he took it from "O Sole Mio" and turned it into "Now or Never." And actually, what a lot of you probably don't realize, that Elvis was an opera guy, and so I wasn't too surprised because he loved opera performers like Mario Lanza and stuff, and performers like that, and so I wasn't too surprised that Elvis did "It's Now or Never," and because of "It's Now or Never," "O Sole Mio" is one of my favorite opera pieces too. I mean, but and so I thank Elvis for turning me on to that number because through "It's Now or Never" I discovered "O Sole Mio," and oh, and one other thing, when I there is, in between the songs of the second show, or the first show, there is like these fan comments that I think were taken from the TV special, and because I've seen clips from the TV special, and I think those were the fan comments on the CD. And I'm going to put a link up in the cards to my gigs playlist, so you can, and there's I put a link, I put a video, I found what I think is the last, I think I found the TV special, if not in its entirety, a good portion of it. So if you want to, you can check that out because it's amazing. Oh, and speaking of amazing, another one of my favorites is "Hurt." The from Moody Blue. Speaking of vocally, he is tremendous. He does a tremendous version of "Hurt" on here. I mean, it's powerful. I mean, it's just excellent. And he also introduces Vernon, his father, before he goes into "Hurt," And at the end of the second show, after the closing vamp and after Can't Help Falling in Love, there's a message from Vernon that you can hear, and it always kind of it always kind of makes me emotional because you can hear the hurt and the anguish in his voice. He thanks everybody for the cards and letters because I think it was recorded. Well, I know it was recorded after Elvis passed, and so you can hear the uh, all the anguish in his voice and stuff. But probably my favorite, I mean, probably my favorite show from the album is the second show, sound wise, because it was recorded better. Oh, and the version of the record that I have, I was looking on Wikipedia, and you'll notice this too on the Wikipedia article. The version that I have of the CD of the album is a single disc, but I think, judging from the Wikipedia article, there was a 2-disc version at one time. Oh, by the way, this came out on RCA Records. I hope you enjoy it. I give this 5 stars. As indicated by the Wikipedia article, the version of My Way was released as a single, but interestingly enough, there is no B-side listed for the single. Pictured here is the sleeve from the single release. Shot and produced by Adam Bauer. Audio and video provided by Pixabay, WeVideo, and the YouTube Music Library. Screen recording taken from Wikipedia. Photos provided by Google Images.